Hey everybody, what's going on? How you doing out there? It's me, Victor Sarung, and I'm currently at Dunkin Donuts on Biscayne Boulevard and 50th Street or 51st Street or 50th Terrace. One of these streets along Biscayne Boulevard. I'm basically near the Mimo area of Miami, near the Design District, near Midtown. Now, the thing about this cup of coffee that I just bought, the price is $2.56 for this particular cup of coffee. Now, this price is lower than the price I paid for at the Dunkin Donuts in Hialeah, which was $2.77. And if I can recall, I also paid $2.77 for the small cup of coffee in Doral. So I think that the prices are just different by maybe 10 to 20 cents in different locations at different Dunkin' Donuts here in Miami. So it actually had nothing to do with the price just rising for all the Dunkin' Donuts. It's just the prices are different. So being that I spent $2.56 for this particular cup of coffee, I also bought $2.56 worth of Bitcoin, $2.56 worth of Solana, and $2.56 worth of Dogecoin. And I'm going to do my analysis with the purchases that I made of the coffees and the cryptocurrencies. Okay, so on August 17, 2026, I purchased one small cup of coffee for $2.56. That makes it so far a total of 5 cups of coffee that I've purchased since the beginning of this analysis. The total amount I've spent so far in coffee has been $13.42. Now at 5:24 p.m., I purchased $2.56 worth of Bitcoin at a price of $64,904.86 per Bitcoin. Now, the total value of Bitcoin that I've purchased so far has been $13.40. Now, this is 2 cents less than the total amount that I've spent on coffee so far. There's not much of a price difference because the price of Bitcoin at the time that I purchased it was only $400 more than the price from the previous week. And in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of one whole Bitcoin, that's hardly anything. That's hardly any price difference. Looking at the total cups of coffee that can be purchased with one whole Bitcoin at the Bitcoin's market value, I can buy 25,353 cups of coffee priced at $2.56 with one whole Bitcoin. That's an increase of 2,057 cups of coffee from the previous week. Looking at Solana, we can see that there was hardly any difference in the market value of the Solana for this week compared to the previous week. As a matter of fact, there was only an 8 cents decrease in the market price of Solana. However, if we look at the value of the Solana purchase versus the total amount spent on the coffee, we see that there is a positive 3 cents difference. And that's because the price of the coffee that I bought at this particular location was 20 cents cheaper. But all in all, there is not much difference between the total amount of money I've spent so far on coffee and the total amount of money that I've spent on Solana. And as you can see, one whole Solana can purchase almost 30 cups of coffee. 29.91 cups of coffee. That's 2.24 cups more than the previous week. Now, as you can see, Dogecoin, like Solana, the price went up very slightly as compared to the previous week. And the amount that was spent, a total amount that was spent on Dogecoin is actually smaller than the total amount that I spent on the small coffee. And that's because the small coffee that I bought was cheaper as compared to the previous week, even though the price is slightly higher. And finally, if we look at the total cups of coffee that can be purchased with one Dogecoin at the market value that I purchased it at, you see that I can only purchase 2.8% of a cup of coffee. That's basically maybe a few sips and that's it. And the change from the previous week is practically minuscule. It's not even worth thinking about the change. It's really no change at all from the previous week. So as you can see, there's not much price difference between the total amount of money I've spent on this small coffee from Dunkin Donuts and the total amount I've spent on the cryptocurrencies of Bitcoin, Solana, and Dogecoin. We can't see much difference right now because the market is consolidating, and being that it's consolidating, I really can't say much about anything as regarding to the total amounts that I've spent on the cryptocurrencies and the coffee. When the market prices, the market direction of the prices of these cryptocurrencies change dramatically, then I can say something.